Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the Alpha FX Academy. I hope all of you had a good Easter break and enjoyed the long weekend. And now you're back to the trading floor with full power, energy and of course a full bank account. So usually I make a video on every single Sunday before the market opens, so you have the opportunity to prepare, watch my video and get some ideas on which direction is the price going to move. But this is, actually today is Thursday and I decided to make a midweek video for two reasons. The first one is I made the last video 2 weeks ago, so I was lazy during the Easter break. And the second one is we reached a really important level which I wanted to talk about. So in the previous video I talked about this consolidation area and I explained why is it important and why is it close to my heart. And also I showed the tendency of gold that it likes to move in consolidations for weeks or even months, which often followed by an impulse move to the upside or the downside, depending if you go back in time. But in these three scenarios, you can see that the consolidation lasted for several weeks or months, and it was followed by an impulse move. So if you can catch these consolidation and the breakouts, you can retire very soon, I promise you. So this consolidation area, it was the same as any other. It followed by an impulse move to the upside. So immediately we can mark two levels, the top and the bottom of the consolidation area. Now I made a previous video somewhere around here when the price reached the top, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that these two levels are extremely important. As soon as the price tapped into the bottom of the consolidation zone, it sharply reversed to the upside. As soon as it reached the upside, then it melted to the downside, and once again as soon as it tapped into the bottom of the consolidation area at 1680, it reversed to the upside. Now I have two open positions still from 1680. It's two lots, but already in £12,000 profit, because I think I had 30 lots, but I closed most of my profit as soon as the price reversed, and it was in good profit because that was the sensible thing to do. Now, why I wanted to talk and why I made the video today is because we reached the top of the consolidation zone again, and I'm going to tell you my forecast and what to expect on gold and how to trade in the coming days or weeks. So if you go down to a lower time frame, you can see as soon as the price tapped into this bottom, it hasn't stopped since and went back to the top of the consolidation area. Now I can see three scenarios, so listen carefully. The first one is we can expect the same kind of aggressive reaction as we did at the bottom of the consolidation area. And what's the opposite of, the impulse move to the upside? Well, it's the downside. So we can expect the price to react the same way it did to the bottom. So if you go down to an even lower time frame, to the H4, and let me just tidy up this. So because the price is floating at the 1750 level, many of the traders want to short, because it's not only me and you who can see these two levels, it's many other traders and institutions as well. So if in the first scenario we looking for a short at this level, let's be conservative and just mark the 1700. So imagine how many people placing their stop losses just above this level, because you can see on the left that this was the previous high at 1750. So I bet thousands of traders placing sell limits at the 1750 area. But you have to be sensible and smart. Imagine how many institutions can see that there's a ton of liquidity sitting above the 1750 area. And what happens in the market if everyone is selling but no one wants to buy? Imagine that the institutions purchased somewhere around here, but now they want to offload it to the market, but no one is buying because everyone is selling right here. So this is a good price to sell for institutions. So if there is no demand, they have to create it artificially. And so if there is no demand, they have to create it artificially. And one way to do it is they push the price just a little above the 1750 area. So they hit all the stop losses of the sellers. And guess what? what's the other side of a seller? It's a buyer. So everyone who starts or trying to sell at the 1750 level, and if the institutions hit their stop losses, they will become immediately buyers. So the big banks and institutions or market makers, whatever you call them, but every single market player who has large inventories and large portfolios of gold and they want to get rid of, this is a good opportunity. So as soon as in this scenario, if you want to sell, I would be more conservative for two reasons. The first one is, I explained previously that a ton of stop losses sitting and liquidity sitting above the 1750 area. And the second one is, if you go on the daily time frame, you can see, let me just delete this, you can see that the price is still bullish, and I expect the price to spill over to the 1750 level. So if you go down to an even smaller time frame, here's the bearish scenario, what I expect. I expect gold, or the price, to spike above the 1750 area, reach all the way 1760. Yes, you heard it right. 1760 is my next target, because first of all, Fibonacci level, really important, and the other one is I use other confirmations which I share in the AlphaFX members group. I'm not going to share all my strategy in the public YouTube videos for obvious reasons. So going back to the chart, I would expect in a short scenario the price to tap up or tap into the 1760 area and then melt, and then just simply melt again and have a same kind of aggressive reaction we had at the 1680 level. So what you have to do is go down into an even lower time frame, for example the 1 hour and the 30 minute, and look for confirmations. Now usually I don't share this in the public videos, but one way to do your trading is analyze on a higher time frame and watch price action on a lower time frame. So in this scenario you can see that previously the price found really good support on this fan kind of lines. So it is like a fan, so it found support here, it found support here, and we can expect it will find support in 1745 before it shoots up to this 1760 area before it melts. So going back to a higher time frame, so this would be a short scenario. Now if you sell, you may ask the question, where is the take profit, where should I close all my positions? Well, you can just use these lines and obviously just eyeball the previous support and resistance levels. So this would be a sensible place to close at 1723 and also 1735. So I appreciate that isn't a long-term trade, but most of the people trade intraday. So if you catch the sell and if the price comes back, you have take profit level at 1735, take profit level 2 at 1720, and then there's no point going further down because I don't know how the price is going to react to these levels. So this is the first scenario. Now let's move to the second one. Here we can draw up a bullish scenario because you can see that the price is fairly bullish, we can say. So in a bullish scenario I would expect the price to go above the 1750 level, come back to retest this area, and then retest this trend line, which we draw on the weekly chart. So you can see that this trend line is really important because this is a fairly strong bearish descending trend line. So as soon as the price breaks through the top of the consolidation area, if you go back to the lower time frame, there is a good possibility that the price is just simply going to retest it, continue this bullish trend, and you can adjust the trend line like this, continue this bullish trend, retest it, and then the next destination will be 1770 and even the 1800s. Now these are really strong psychological numbers, and for this scenario to happen we have to wait a candle to close above the 1750 level. Now on which time frame? I would say is the H4. That's one of my favorite time frames to trade on, and it's really powerful and strong. So you want to wait a candle to close above at this level, and yes, somewhere here. And if the price comes back, which level would you think is a good support for the price if it continues the bullish market? Well, it's definitely the top of the consolidation area. So go back a few minutes and watch what I explained about the consolidation area of the left. So we have a good support level here. And the third scenario is the price won't go above the 1750 level and simply just melts aggressively, and it won't take out all the liquidity or tap into the 1750 area. And in this scenario, the price simply just gonna go down. Now, I appreciate that, you know, it's 3 completely different scenarios, but I don't think anything else would happen. I don't think the price is going to move sideways. I think because we reached a really important and strong support and resistance levels, the buyers and the sellers will have to make a decision. Now, which direction is it going to go? We don't know yet. We're just watching the chart and focusing on price action solely. I described 3 possible scenarios, and I think it should be enough for you to trade today or tomorrow. Now, there's so many other fundamental things in the market, for example, the stimulus, the budget, central banks buying gold purchase. By the way, did you know that Central Bank of Hungary just tripled their physical gold holding? So, you know, these kind of fundamental things could change the trading and override any technical analysis. But the number one thing I base my trading on is price action. So watch the chart, see how the price reacts to these levels, and you have 3 possible scenarios, guys, and that should be enough for you to trade. That's enough ammunition. Now, this was my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you reach another level, if you break through or break below this level, and if there is a retest, I definitely gonna make sure that make this analysis public and share it to the Telegram groups. Now, if you're not member in the AlphaFX Academy, you can go to the website, you can click on the contact button, send me a message, or you can simply just sign up to one of the courses and plans, which gives you access to the private members group on Telegram. Now, I have 2 groups, one of them is for chat and the other one is purely for analysis. And I also have a free public Telegram group channel, which you can find below this video in the description. Now, thank you guys for watching and listening to this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and have a good weekend.